This is the definitive breakdown of the Overwatch 2 developer AMA done on Reddit just recently, but this is not just a breakdown of everything that they go over, but also some discussion with some of the devs in the chat. One of them, Gavin Winter, we talk a lot about the matchmaker, answer some questions from chat, as well as the community manager, Megan, who's hanging out with us as well. It's a good time. We break down each and every single answer fully and in detail. No shilling, no sugarcoating here. If the answers were good, we're good. If the answers were bad, we talk about why they're bad, what they need to be doing better. This discussion about Mercy, Hanzo, Matchmaker, Tank System, Roadhog, Tank Busters, and many, many more. If you have any questions in the comments, please let me know. And to answer the big red elephant in the room, I had microneedling done yesterday, so yeah, that's it's not a bad sunburn, okay, guys? Just be nice, you know. Don't call me tomato guy in chat. Please, don't call me tomato guy in chat, please. So let's take here. Will I ever make pick rates and win rates public, even with a couple of weeks after the fact? Oh, this is a great question. I feel like it would do a lot to help people understand why changes are made. Is there a win rate range you want to keep all heroes to stay within? Click on the Blizz names for all the answers, Spilo. It's not in order. Okay, I'll do that after this question. All right. Josh says, all right, there aren't many plans currently to shift resources towards supporting things like that. Sites like Overwatch don't have the complete picture, but the data for win rates is genuinely close. Okay, so that's really important. You guys notice that? So we've used Overwatch occasionally as like a guideline, but I've always been a little bit cautious. But Josh confirms that it's close enough. It's decent. It's decent. Great to know. There is some argument against being too transparent with those stats, and that it can create a bit of a feedback loop where you might see player behavior driven by what appears to be the meta in the stats. Now, that's interesting. Do you remember what we talked about earlier where I said that people always over-exaggerate? Ana's strong, people start to echo chamber, Ana, boom, right? Everyone thinks Ana is literally Satan, even though Ana's maybe not actually quite that bad, right? That is absolutely accurate psychology. People always overemphasize these things. But that kind of happens already with just general discussions and relative stats as well. Okay. Our target range for hero viability by win rate is between 45 to 55% unmirrored, in other words, not playing versus each other, at Masters rank and above. Masters rank and above. That means like not the highest of the high rank, but a good player should somewhere be in there. Now, what this does mean, this is important. This means that absolute cancer characters like Bastion, Roadhog, whatever, Moira, will be at least passable in higher ranks. Okay? Now, that's not a bad thing. A 45% win rate is still really, really, really low. In other words, Moira at a 45% win rate would still be really bad, which is what we want. But yeah, they don't look at lower ranks as much. I mean, do I go light mode, y'all? How do I go light mode? Hang on. I'll go. Okay, I got you. Okay, my bad, y'all. There you go. Loves and kisses. Mostly because heroes tend to have a wider range of win rates per map. This is important as well. They fluctuate in 2 to 3% per day, and we're looking at the global average, but also individual player performance isn't consistent. My bad, sorry guys. Lower pick rates fluctuate more, and there is less lower rate pick rates. And this is statistics, right? The way to look at this is this. Think about it this way. If I flipped a coin 10 times in a row, how many of those would be heads? If I flipped a coin 1,000 times in a row, how many of those would be heads? The first one is impossible to predict, almost impossible to predict. In fact, I proved this in a very famous, if I do say so, YouTube short, where I flipped the coin first time on camera, and I got 10 out of 12 times were heads. But if you flipped it 1,000 times, it's going to be very close to 50%. So lower pick rate heroes have a lot more instability because it's less to do with the character itself and more to do with the player playing it or the situation or just bad or good luck. And there's less confidence in their win rates being indicative of actual strength. Extremely high pick rate heroes have a similar problem when looking unmirrored stats. That's interesting. Wait a second. Extremely high pick rate heroes have a similar problem when looking at unmirrored stats. Oh, because there are very, very rare circumstances when the matches are unmirrored. That's why. Because they're so popular that 90% of games are mirrored. So then when they are not mirrored, it's a very small sample size, which again leads to instability in terms of the accuracy of the prediction. Got it. Okay.
In the end, stats require interpretation to understand their context, and that is why they're not the only basis for balance changes, but are a useful tool to measure the impact of changes. And that's a good answer. Good stuff. Okay. We'll keep going here until things get lost. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just look at Josh No's responses, depending on how many he has. And then, okay, I think it's just these two here. Wait. Okay, so it's the first one here.
The hawk.
Is that gonna work? Oh yeah, here we go. Nolan, thank you for the sub, mate. You embrace the hog? He's a little wide. All right. Who is the hardest character to balance and tweak out of the 3 rules? Probably, bro, my scroll wheel is so busted. I'm just gonna use my keyboard. Probably Sombra due to permanent invisibility restricting how deadly we can make her, but also because she's a hero that excels with strong king coordination. 100%. Permanent invisibility means that you have a character that is either an unsuccessful duelist or a successful duelist. If she's a successful duelist, she's almost no counterplay because of permanent invisibility. If she's an unsuccessful duelist, then she can choose her engagements, but she never wins them. So what's the point? Because she excels with strong king coordination, that is true. This becomes more of a pro thing, but yeah, I get it. There are a handful of other heroes with performance sets that differ greatly from broader community perception of them, and that can create difficulty in how we approach balancing them as well. Kiriko. Okay. That's your reply? Nice. Okay, so that's Josh so far. Arissa, 2. That is true. Yep, that's true. That's true. Blizz Hudson has 1 here. We'll take a quick look. Kiriko is just historically, from what we know, has had a relatively low win rate and has recently has a pretty high pick rate, but has always been the character that people complain about, even if she's not that good. I saw something crazy today as well. People were saying on this subreddit, actually, that Kiriko is way easier to play than Baptiste, which I was like, no, she's not. Like Bap is not super easy either, but like I would say that Kiriko is like, it's just as hard, maybe harder. Chili, thank you for the sub. And I've been coaching Kiriko for years, like of all levels. Kiriko is just as hard as Baptiste, maybe even harder. I mean, it's meta dependent for sure, but like the positioning with Kiriko is a lot harder, especially since she lost her 2-tap. So like that's the kind of stuff like that. But people say that, and it's just not true. Yeah, Hudson is answering. So yeah, let's roll. I don't even know if oh wait, Kenny. Oh, I met Kenny. I think I met Kenny. I think we had the dev Q&A. Bro, that was sick. I showed up at the dev Q&A in that room, and it was Kenny. There was one other designer. I forget who it was. I feel bad for not remembering. I met him. Yes, Kenny. It was Kenny. It was one other guy. I cannot remember. I only met Kenny and the other guy once, so that's why I can't remember their names. Alec and Josh. And it was like me, Custa, and Dante. And that was it for like half an hour, 40 minutes. Hey, Gavin, by the way. And dude, I came in with like a list of questions, and I actually talked with Megan ahead of time, and I was like, hey, are these too many questions? Like which ones should I prioritize here? I was talking because I didn't want to monopolize. I didn't want to be a turd and just be like, I ask all my questions. Screw you guys. I'm more important. You know, that would have been disrespectful and rude, and also not take too much of their time. Well, it turns out there was like nobody there. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep asking questions. And I got to ask every single question, which is why we were able to make that whole video, like the full like list, because I had so many questions. But yeah, that was sick. Okay, what is the average rank of your playtesters and what level of input they have in deciding what changes are made in each balanced patch? Oof, okay. I appreciate that, Megan. I apologize to Alec afterwards because I know some of my questions were very direct, but I try to be consistent. I don't want to be a snake. You know, I don't want to be like Mr. Nice Guy in person, but then like trash it behind. If I'm going to be like, you know, critical, I'm going to try and be critical to their face. I'm going to be respectful. Be respectful because their job is incredibly hard, but you know, I'm not going to be a snake. Nice, Megan. Nice, Megan. That's all right. That's all right. You know what? It could be worse though. At least, you know what, Megan? You might be silver in Overwatch, but at least you're Grandmaster in, and Mafia, right? Oh, No, wait. No, that's okay. That's okay. At least you're Grandmaster in Coup, right? Oh, wait, no. No, never mind. Maybe you don't really have all that much going for you. Yeah. Okay. A huge part of our team culture revolves around playtesting. From designers to QA and community management, everyone has the opportunity to play what we're working on and give open, honest feedback. One of the advantages of the small is we get protected from a wide range of play range from GM1 to Bronze 5. It's been a while since we've taken an official poll in average ranks, but having a white table has prevention. And I think that's important. Our playtesting got so much better recently because we built an internal tool to set out our ranks directly. Oh, nice. Make myself anything above medals. Yeah. Nah, I kid. You did good with Coup. That was honestly, Megan, that was like the most fun I've ever had playing Coup with the J3 game. That was a blast. That's also the most fun I had playing Mafia, bro. That was a lot of fun. It's a good answer. It's a bit of a corporate answer because if you don't know, you don't know. It's a question that there really isn't another answer to this. They have high rank players. They have low rank players. All the ranks matter. I mean, that's about as good of an answer that you're going to get. So, yeah. Okay. Good answer. It is what it is. We'll check out Alec here. There's people on the team that are GM. Yeah, there is. I believe, I don't know if I'm allowed to say who. I don't want to be that, but I know at least one of them is. Looks like I lost an EDRA 1v1. Yeah. It's not Sunburn, guys. Exclamation mark face. Let me actually change the title here because I can remove 2 of these things because we've done these. GM post season 9? I don't know. Like the last time I talked with them, they were season 9, but I imagine so, yeah. He set himself to champion 1. Classic. According to some of the conspiracy theories I read on Twitter, apparently that's possible for everybody, you know? All right, a month later, and considering he's displayed proudly in the Twitter post of the AMA, I got my question. How have you guys felt about the past reworks on Roadhog and the new one, Wrecking Ball? Ouch. This is a tough one. This one is not a softball. This is a 95-mile-an-hour Nolan Ryan with spikes set on fire, wearing blinders with a baseball bat the size of a toothpick. But it's a good question. It needs to be asked because I do think that this one was interesting, has a lot of potential, maybe a little bit overtuned with some of the things. I would have loved more CC counterplay, but and this one I think was just a big flop. I'm not going to lie. I just think it was a big flop. What the goals were, exactly your personal thoughts, the community response, and what do you guys want to fine tune with them post rework? Those things, I think most people would be interested in how you guys have felt now that it's been a bit. Okay. For the most part, we are relatively happy with the new bases both have been given, but there's still some fine-tuning to be done. I'll start with Wrecking Ball. Our goal was to give them more flexibility with his movement gauge options, heighten the benefits he gives to his team, and give him some quality of life updates. I think our changes all attempt to address those goals, but one thing that we can hit a bit harder in the future is heightening the benefits he gives to his team. We were a little conservative with the adaptive shields change. Overhealth is hyper-scaring coordinated environments, so perhaps there's room to be more pronounced through tuning and actual feedback received in game, working on some updates there. I disagree. I think the adaptive shields change is something that will always remain niche unless it's broken. I think the idea of sharing shields with your team with his playstyle are just fundamentally incongruent goals unless you're going in aggressively with somebody else. The problem with this is for this adaptive shields change to be relevant for your backliners, it would not only, number one, change how Wrecking Ball would be played for the worse, and 2, it would be broken for the old Wrecking Ball playstyle in certain comps. So let's say that it depends on how they change this. I'm being a little bit skeptical here or cynical, but let's say they made it so that you could give 100, 125 adaptive shields change, which was a lot of the feedback that, be careful about that. That's going to break flankers. And it still might not be good enough to make Wrecking Ball going for his own backline relevant enough to do. Right? So that's the problem. I just don't think that this change is what Wrecking Ball needs. I don't mind it. I like the change. I think it adds a little bit of nuance and complexity. I've seen it a couple times in pro games. I've seen it a couple times in ranked games. Not even like, it's not even as rare as people say. It's a couple times, you get it a couple times per game where it's actually relevant to do. It adds some layer of complexity. It's had some playmaking. It's not broken. It's cool. And it's okay to have, to me, free niche nuance. You know, if you're good enough to use it when and where you can, go for it. It doesn't have to like change the fundamental character. And I think that them trying to do that is a little bit concerning because I don't think this is the way to go. Overall, though, Wrecking Ball is doing much better for the recent update that we have just going before. Okay, so fine. But I will say this is a little bit, a little concerning in the gut. A little concerning in the gut. For Roadhog, aside from the conversations about his current survivability, we plan to hit that soon. There are some things for us to look at concerning the frequency of his combo. For example, his Pikmin begins to go on cooldown when you throw it. So you can pre-place one, it gets destroyed, the Roadhog already has it ready again, even though the enemy may think there's a window where Hook is less deadly. That's one discussion we've recently had. I mean, yeah, but that seems like 5th on the list of things that's relevant. I don't think Pigpen vulnerability window is something that people are actively thinking about that much or care about that much. Maybe it's something that matters more that we're just not smart enough to pay attention to. That's one discussion we've recently had. Still some work for us to do in terms of value Pigpen brings outside of the combo as well. And how can we make the window of combo? Okay. So I think the survivability of Roadhog is definitely like a big one that we're looking at here, but nothing really all that big or exciting here, to be honest. Yeah, I don't, frankly, nothing really that exciting. Okay, let's keep going here. Bro, I might need to get some water. My throat is like Sahara. Why was Smurf Detection essentially removed from MMR adjustment, especially for new accounts? GM level players taking 60 plus games to reach the proper rank ruin it for so many games. It feels like climbing in general is artificially slowed, so people will play more if they should reset. Bro, I asked Gavin this, and he said it's not removed. Nah, listen, guys, don't let Megan gaslight you. Megan, whenever they try and find out if they want to balance a character, they blindfold Megan. They shake up like one of those, like, you guys ever play like bingo, you know? They shake up those bingo things, and she goes in there blindfold and pulls it out and like, all right, this hero's meta. That's what happens. Yeah, that's what happens. I was there, I saw it. Yeah. And she actually dangles from her ankles as well, just for extra excitement. And the bingo bowl is on fire, just for fun. I keep hitting Arissa. Jeez, Megan. I tapped into our Gavin Winter for the first part. I love that the way this is phrased. I didn't tap it. No, I tapped in our own Gavin Winter. Do you guys have a Gavin Winter? Do you guys have a Gavin Winter in your pantry? You should. You know, you got your spatula, your vacuum, you have your plunger, your Gavin Winter, just in case. You never know when you might need one. You never know when you might need one. You need one to have one around, just in case. You got any matchmaking questions, you need to have a Gavin Winter. So he sits next to my car keys. Yeah, he's all right. He's good. Plug him in. Yeah, chat GPT style app more than employee. Exactly. Bro, I understand, Gavin. When I was remote coaching for Overwatch League, I felt like the same thing. It was like everyone's like goes off and plays and has a good time, and I'm just sitting there doing my job. I was like, oh, I freaking hate my life. Okay, there haven't been any changes to these systems, but there are edge cases like the example of Gushui that was recently posted in this episode where our systems don't perform the way we like. Most players will still be placed appropriately as they transition from quick play to competitive play, but unfortunately cases like this have always been possible. Explaining exactly how this happens will make it easier to reproduce, so you'll have to excuse me for not going into intricate detail here. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Like, Gavin, you're gonna have to. Maybe it's just anecdotal evidence, but I swear, like, you can literally go back a period of time on YouTube, and all the unranked GMs were like 1 to 2 hours. What was it, like a year ago? They were all like 1 to 2 hours, and then I swear, over the course of like 3 or 4 months, they all like quadrupled in length, like 5, 6, 7 hours. Maybe, yeah. Maybe they're like, maybe it's because the accounts that they were getting were like actually like, they were like like gold players quick play accounts, you know what I'm saying? And the old ones were like they were actually playing the quick play games, and so they were like MMR was like really, really high. It's just hard because that sample size is so small. I mean, I get it, but yeah, no, I'm not saying that that's what is happening. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, because I know for a freaking fact that that was the case, because I asked you this very same question not too long ago. So I don't know. You know what? Maybe Gavin's gaslighting me, guys. I don't know how it is. We got freaking Megan picking Arissa meta every single time. Gavin's gaslighting me. I don't know, guys. I don't know, bro. This is just, I don't know, man. Losing my mind. Gavin has a shotgun on his shoulder. So we know why it happens. Ah, I see. See, this is what it is. This is like the equivalent of like, yeah, I got you. Keeping you on your toes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, 2-part question here. Why the inconsistency with dev comments explanations for balance changes? There have been many changes that have been questionable that were shipped with zero explanation. This basically means when the patch notes go live on the website, sometimes there's not always like an under paragraph in the italics. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Justifying these changes would help a lot. Okay. I have to ask, what is going on with Symmetra? She was weak, then buffed, and immediately reverted. Now silence. Is she getting reworked? What data shows she needs to nerf? She's super weak and hard to use in ladder, and was only played OWCS for Malga. Should nerfing Malga have been enough? I will say part of the Symmetra problem is skill issue. I will say that Symmetra is like flank. I'm pretty freaking good at Symmetra, I will say. And it's the flank Symmetra is still like really broken, especially with the teleporter buff. The problem is that because she's lost her 2-tap, she's a lot less effective as a flanker. The problem with most of the sim, can I be honest with you guys? For just a second? Little tough love here, okay? Maybe a little tough hate is a better way to phrase it. A lot of the sim main complaints is a skill issue. She's not good. Let me be very clear. She is not a good character, but it's because her impression, the strength of the character is over in the wrong way, because most sim mains are stupid. They don't know how to play the character. They just sit there and shoot the tank. She's not good frontline. She hasn't been good frontline since, I don't even know when, right? Certainly since she lost 25 HP. They're just dumb. I'm just going to say it. They're just dumb. All right. I'm not saying that sim mains as a whole are dumb, but because they have these bad habits from Overwatch 1. I'm not even talking about higher ranked players. I think higher ranked players are like, well, higher ranked sim mains know what they're doing, but like the average sim main, like the sim gold, silver gold, is basically just dying to tanks and damage spam from off cooldown, complaining that they can't frontline, and then just building sim wall and winning. Yeah. You can argue that why have beam if beam is so weak, and that's a fair argument for sure. But like sim flank angle sim is like really good, really good. The problem is that it's not good enough without the 2-tap to justify picking her over other DPS, which I 100% agree. 100% agree. I've always vouched for bring the 2-tap back in, shrink the projectile size so that it's skillful again. I think that's the best position for sim to be, in my opinion. We should do a better job about communicating, especially when it comes to getting the community's visibility on what we are seeing versus what the players may seem as the best here at one given time. Which kind of leans into what we were talking about earlier, where Alec was saying, was it Alec? Or was it Josh? I can't remember. We're saying that the community impression of a character may not line up with what they are seeing under the hood, right? These can differ regularly as certain heroes get power reputations. There you go. Weaker or stronger than the reality that are hard to shake off. I'm telling you guys, it's all psychology. I don't envy these guys. Thanks for the feedback there. We'll make sure that they have something there, even if it's a simple change. But it is true. This is still good feedback, though, because if they're able to communicate, it will help to change the power reputation. A developer opinion, even if you disagree with it, will make you second guess your opinion just a little bit. Symmetra keep some of those buffs in that patch, but yes, we hear the feedback of what our current power level is. We may have been a bit overreacted to the Malga compositions popping up during that time frame. He was certainly overtuned, but we wanted to be sure of it. That's honestly not a problem here. But for right now, we are in discussions about Symmetra and especially her frontline presence. Oh no. No. Believe that's a piece of the kit we'd like to promote further, whether through her survivability or beam damage. Oh, man. Dang it. Dang it. Yeah, I just think that's the least interesting part of her kit, you know? It's the least interesting part of her kit, to be perfectly frank. It's the least interesting part of her kit, and it's also the least skillful part of her kit, which is what's because people's negative impression from Symmetra is 50% turrets, 50% beam, right? Not many people care as much about the orbs, right? I mean, I think definitely people think definitely, but it's I cannot tell you how many like gold players are like, oh, Sim's broken, just beams your tank, you know? And I don't think that we want to encourage that as much, you know? It doesn't necessarily mean that we need to like make it bad. Like, I'm not even necessarily saying that the survivability or beam damage is a bad buff. I just, you know, it's not going to win that immediately inspires joy. You know what I'm saying? I think if you want to talk about beam, it's not the beam damage, but beam ramp up time needs to be addressed. You get what I'm saying? Because then it would be a lot more relevant in squishy 1v1s. So Alec, I'm on my knees, mate. I'm begging you, if you're gonna buff beam, buff ramp up time so that's actually relevant in the frontline trade if you want to, but it's actually relevant versus squishies. Because if you buff the damage, it will be done one thing, and it's going to be on tanks. It's just gonna be tanks. It's gonna be burn shield, burn tanks. That's it. That's it. So now you have a relevant beam that will mean that it's actually the choice of weapon and closer ranges. Do I want to take PayPal for my coaching? Sadly, yes. You can. I think my wife has Venmo, so just message me on Discord. No, PK, no. We don't want lock beam. No. This guy doesn't like rework Sombra. This guy wants to go back to old Symmetra. I swear. I don't know. I have all the friends in low places. Okay, we keep going here. Like increased damage versus targets hit with full charge orb. I mean, that's kind of a cool idea, honestly. Like a small damage buff dino. Yeah, I mean, I like that idea. That's cute. All right, yo, I gotta get some water. My throat's like freaking killing me, man. Give me a second. Throat. Shut up, Caprice. What if we made Sim Moira and also Reaper Moira? Can you imagine just like 5 Moiras just constantly? Dude, actually think about that. What if you could do like the no limits and you just picked 5 Moira orbs? Can you just imagine 5 damage orbs? What would that DPS be? Somebody know? What's the math on that? It's like 100 DPS? Or 150 DPS? It's like 20, 30 DPS, right? Is it more? Is it 50 DPS? Oh my gosh. Dude, that would be insane. That would actually be kind of good. Like, you could actually just like kill squishies like crazy fast. Yeah, you would actually just have to run D.Va, man. You just would. That's exactly what we were saying, Autumn Sun. Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying. Much faster ramp up, so it's actually relevant versus squishies. It's less than 5 Winstons jumping you. Yeah, but the difference is it's like you don't have to actually engage, right? You don't have to engage. Okay, I know you guys mentioned the 2 upcoming DPS hero reworks. Is there any news about how those reworks are progressing, who they'll be for? Any heroes under consideration for potential reworks? Cassidy and Reaper. Called it. I swear the Reaper one's not that impressive because I swear that they said Reaper a while ago. I swear they said it, but this is good. For Cassidy, we started some exploration pre-Season 9 due to where he was at the time. This update was originally looking at multiple pieces of kit. We saw Season 9 changes largely benefit him, so the update has got more focus on mag grenade and other quality of life updates. That's good. That's good. I think roll is like a bit odd, but roll feels a lot better since the damage reduction, because it actually feels like there's like some skill and options in there. Like you can use it aggressively for reload. Allocated with the ML7 Q&A. Okay, got it. But I think the roll has like been a lot better. And Season 11, we're updating Magnetic Grenade. It will behave closer to old flashbang and will hinder the target. I think this plays a lot better with this kit. Remove some of the larger frustrations of my Mag Grenade. More specifics and all that soon. Okay, so removing the tracking is already better. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. My problem is the slow hinder is just generally better used defensively is the problem. So I don't know. I'm not smart enough to think these things through all the time, so we'll just have to wait and see. For Reaper, we went fairly wide as well in the beginning and started to focus closely on updating Shadow Step. At the moment, we have something we quite like, but it's actually a large technical challenge. We're in the process of planning out the work, seeing what's possible. In the meantime, we may buff Reaper in some non-tank buster ways. Nice, 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 nice. Do you know what this means, guys? I'm gonna pretend that I'm a developer here. Guys, you guys follow me for my programming, character, hero design, art stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a wizard at that, right? I do that for work. I'm a genius when it comes to computers, as everybody knows. Okay, it's some mobility thing. Yeah, there's something cute going on here. There's some weird flanky speed animation, something or another. Yeah, it's something cute going on here. It's something cute going on here. Which this to me screams good. This screams to me good. Something juicy's coming, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're getting some juice. That's what I'm saying. Okay, wow! Okay, no, these are old. Okay, we're good. Okay. Yeah, maybe a tighter spread. They said non-tank busting things, so we'll see. It's not related to Season 10 balance changes, but I'm going to ask anyway. Were we secretly testing any new upcoming heroes with the Mirror Watch event? No secret testing of anything upcoming in the immediate. We do look at how some changes play out through, become more real, and get lots of games. I think the Bastion Ultimate in particular was quite fun, even if very loud and on the border technically. Reinhardt's Frenzy passive was also something we played around with internally, but it was quite hard to communicate effectively. I don't know. I feel like they could communicate that pretty effectively. A visual communication, like a, like a electric charge thing, maybe. I don't know. Maybe like I said, guys, I'm a computer wizard. It's always good to see what players get excited about when there's more wacky ideas. So that's cool. That's cool. So they're open to it. All right. No spoilers. Thank you, Tusk, though. I appreciate it. We'll go through and we'll refresh. Is there anything new here? Yeah, so there's Hanzo juice. There's Hanzo juice. That's okay. I'm just messing. I'm messing. We're going to keep refreshing. Arge. Oh, my days. All right, I'm going to skip Arge's question for now. Because we know what it's going to be. Where is Josh? Where the frick is Josh? Josh! Okay. Hanzo is still an effective mid-range burst damage here, even without the one-shot kills. Post-Season 9, with the projectile size changes, actually saw an increase in Hanzo's performance on the statistical side. I do hear you on the loss of how good the one-shot kills felt, but the overarching goal of Season 9 was to reduce a lot of this burst damage frustrations for the players on the receiving end of it. Armor changes in Season 10 have also been a benefit to his damage. Still, very early, but we've been experimenting with adjusting health pools for some of the more evasive or high damage heroes, which will also put them back in the range of lethal Hanzo headshots and some other heroes' combats at 225 HP. But while it would bring some interesting texture to hero interactions overall, there are also a bunch of other problems to solve if we want to go through with it. I think Hanzo's kind of a mess. I'm not going to lie. And it's because Hanzo's been problematic since Overwatch 1, but Hanzo also did not transition very well into Overwatch 2 because he just doesn't have very good mobility. It's not that he was necessarily always bad in Overwatch 2. I just think he's awkward. He's just awkward. Like, he's clunky, he's slow, his ult's not very good. It's just awkward, right? So I think that he's very tricky to balance because his vulnerability to like dive and so on makes him awkward. And then removing his one shot definitely hurt him as well. But frankly, I think that he's just one of those characters that quietly should probably remain not that good. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they should ever nerf one-shot heroes back to 2. I think that's bad. And what would you nerf to 250 HP? He's got a bow instead of a gun. Right, exactly. Like the problem is the induction. It doesn't work. It's slow. It's awkward. I really feel like we've talked about this before. I really feel like if they're gonna rework Hanzo, they need to go into like the utility bow, burning arrows, scouting arrows, speed arrows, like what, and just allow him to like choose the right weapon for more like utility and general pressure. Like he could be a great mid-range duelist. I just think that long-range one-shot is just not good because it's way too inconsistent with this character. Have I seen Bocek in Apex Legends? No, I haven't. So yeah, I think that Hanzo's just one of those heroes that's awkward. Very, very uncomfortable to be. And I think he is fixable if you were like lean more into like the dynamic, like having different heroes and different choices for different arrows. But yeah. Yeah. I do agree that it is like we need to know like what is Hanzo's identity, and I think effective mid-range burst damage hero is a fine identity, in which case we can lean more into that and less into the one shot. Autumn Sun, that's not a bad idea, yeah. Something like that. Something like that, Autumn Sun, for sure. We plan on nerfing his survivability very soon. This is referring to Roadhog. We are touching Take a Breather and Whole Hog in an upcoming patch, hoping that can go live tomorrow. I like the Whole Hog. I hope Whole Hog gets kind of, because it is such an anti-tank ult, which is tough. Yeah, cheers, Dino. Okay, what do we got here from Alec here? With the recent major tank changes, armor, that released last week, I'm very curious, have there been any noticeable immediate shifts in the win rates and pick rates amongst tanks? Has there been any collateral shifts within the DPS and support roles because of the recent tank changes? I know that, for instance, after the recent armor changes, some heroes have become weaker against tanks, Tracer Reaper, while others have become significantly stronger, Cassidy and Hanzo. I'm interested in knowing the team's behind-the-scenes statistics have measured lately as a result of the recent tank changes. That is, if it is possible for you guys to share it. If not, understandable. Some of this is related to meta happenings or balance changes, but also related to armor changes. From what we can see, the biggest winners are Ana, Junkrat, Pharah, Roadhog, Sigma, Wrecking Ball, Zarya. Wrecking Ball is no surprise. The guy got buffed. Roadhog with the headshot reduction. Pharah, Junkrat, better tank spam, plus Junkrat got a specific buff. Ana, probably because in relation to how Roadhog is being played, Yeah, okay. Many heroes stayed relatively similar, while a handful saw a decrease in performance. Bastion, D.Va, no surprises, no surprises. Yeah, these are all heroes that were immediately affected by the armor change. Okay, cheers, Juicy. Yeah, D.Va was the one I noticed the most as Winston. I felt like I was still getting pretty torched, but D.Va 1v1s felt a lot, like getting pressured or cleared up by D.Va as Winston felt a lot better. Okay, let's keep going here. No more from Hudson here. No more from Josh for now. We'll double check Alec really quick, and then we'll maybe come back in a little bit. Anna ignores armor now. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. I think also Anna probably feels relatively decent versus Wrecking Ball and the Roadhog stuff as well. Hey, Dare. What % of players are masters? I don't know. I know historically, I want to say it was 5%, but I don't know if that's still exactly the case now. Oh, Jody? I don't know if Jody's answering questions. She's more the community manager in that aspect, but I can double check. So she's going through and linking questions that are already answered, seems like. Yeah, it seems like Jody's relaying answers. From what I know, though, I think that I don't know if Gavin's still here, but in general, I think that it's been a little bit harder to get to the higher ranks. So maybe it was too easy before, and now it's more of like what it was in Overwatch 1. But it definitely feels like Grandmaster has recently gotten harder. Streaming after microneedling is bold, so props. I mean, I don't care, man. If you're in my stream, you just don't, you know that I don't give a flying frick about anything, honestly. I appreciate it, though. I don't care. I don't care. We just redistributed the rank distribution in Season 9. Masters is more exclusive than it was, right? And I know Gavin has said that they're not really releasing the exact breakdown, which makes sense, but do with that information as you will. Sigma Male moment. Yeah, bro, speaking of Sigma Male, I posted one workout progress video earlier this week, specifically talking about this new program I've been following, hypertrophy clusters. It was more of like a public review because I know the guy who does the program on Twitter. And bro, I got so many thirsty messages. I'm reconsidering giving updates in the future. Champ 1 is being reserved for me and Michael Hogan exclusively. Nice, Megan. That's sick. Megan, if you could snap your fingers right now and become literally champion skill with one character, just like right now, what would you do? What character would it be? Yeah, some eagle was like, bro, I'm gonna touch you. I'm like, excuse me? Kiriko? That's a good choice. Kiriko, that's terrifying. What would you guys chat? What would you guys pick? If you could just be like GM1 champion skill level like right now, what would you pick? Lucio, Tracer, Genji, Ryan, Winston, Ana, Reaper, Tracer, Echo, Lucio. Yeah, a lot of like high skill characters. Makes sense. Widow. Man, that's scary. Y'all psychopaths that are picking Widowmakers scare me. Junkrat. I actually don't know what I would choose. I don't know what I would choose. I feel like I might be boring with this one, maybe. I might pick Ana. Widow probably would mean I could be good at games other than Overwatch 2. That's actually true, yeah. Like, you gotta think like transferable skills here. That's true. Space Ranger. Yeah, I'm thinking like Ana here. I'm thinking Ana here. I like Ana a lot. Ana is... Which I'm already good at Ana. Like, I'm already like, she's one of my better heroes, but like, I don't know. I freaking love playing Ana. A champ 1 Bastion. Yeah, how good would you have to be a champ 1 Bastion? You'd have to be like insane tracking because like there's only so many skills. Nice. I'm glad to hear it, Revan. Glad to hear it. Yeah, Tracer's crazy. Tracer also has so many like transferable skills as well. Anything that's mechanically intense is going to have transferable skills, especially hit scan stuff. You can't get champ 1 if you're hacking? I don't know. Champ 1 is the probably correct answer. You could solve world hunger and stuff in an afternoon. True, actually. Champ 1 Lifeweaver. Oh, man. I wonder what's the highest rank a one-trick Lifeweaver or an almost one-trick Lifeweaver is hit. Does anybody know? Who's that one crazy Lifeweaver player? What rank is he hit? Who's that guy? Who is that guy? New Alec post? All right, I'll check it in a second. Reform Revy. How high did he get? He's top 100? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. That's insane. Champ 5. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Alec post here. All right. Answer the Roadhog question. Changes coming soon. For Lifeweaver. Yo! Perfect timing. One of the discussions we are having right now, actually this week, and having been around for a while, is the friction that comes with switching between his healing and damage. Let's get ready to rumble! Woo! Woo! Yeah! 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 Beef! Testosterone! Nah! 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 Giving him more flexibility here would be a great boon to his capability within team fights. Additionally, we experimented a lot with his pedal platform. Personally, would love for that to be a more attractive area to stand on as a teammate, whether it be through a buff the platform gives you or something else, but there's a lot of learned behavior to work through as allies hop off the platform quite often. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's honestly the biggest problem with life. Not the biggest, but one of the bigger problems is it's like, for life, a lot of the times, like, life grip demands people to feed, so there has to be, like, people have to pay attention to that. It's not always intuitive, you know? But yeah, nice. I mean, the weapon swap alone is such a massive quality of life change. And you guys gotta, like, I know you guys are, like, freaking out because, like, Lifeweaver buffs, but remember, if Lifeweaver get buffs in the weapon swap or making pedal platform function more fluidly, then we can nerf healing. You know, like one thing justifies the other, right? We want Lifeweaver to feel functionally good, so the worst parts of him that are annoying to play versus can be nerfed, right? Like it's a much more good design. So that's good. How about you get damage reduction pedal platform? Could be broken for life. The problem is you have to find a way to buff it that doesn't make just sitting on the pedal as Lifeweaver broken, because that's the really frustrating thing. Using it to set up a teammate has like functionality and could be cool. Yeah. Attack speed buff. I mean, honestly, an attack speed buff, if it didn't affect his healing, could be kind of cool. Like a small attack speed buff would be, because that wouldn't be broken for Lifeweaver. We've tried a lot of buffs on the platform, but that's not about the high ground advantage anymore, and it causes weird incentives. Yeah, I get that. I get that. What you would need to do is you need to find a buff that complements the type of hero that would want the position in the first place. And I think you would need some sort of audio or visual feedback. Like, think about it this way, guys. Imagine you step on the platform, it glows, and you glow, almost like you're damage boosted. You know what I'm saying? It could be a small buff, but I think having some sort of visual or audio feedback that you are being buffed because of your position will encourage people to take those positions more. But if you make it like a minor buff, like nothing super major, then you mean that you don't have to only use it for the buff. You could still use it to like move your Reinhardt to high ground or defend yourself. So it's like, again, remember the problem with Lifeweaver is that the pedal only does really one thing, is it saves you. But if it's something that gives an offensive benefit, a small offensive benefit, but an offensive benefit, then you have to use it. Do you use it defensively to save yourself? Do you use it to reposition a tank? Or do you use it to buff up a DPS? You know what I'm saying? It's an interesting dynamic. And I think it has to be offensive buff. I don't think it can be a heal or a damage reduction, because that is already something that the pedal platform already does well. Heck, you could even make pedal platform last for only a few seconds. So there's like a reduced time. You actually have to time when you buff the damage of that target well. There's all sorts of things that you could do with it, I think. Yeah, you definitely would not have a heal or damage reduction. Definitely not. He already has more than enough going for them in that category. Anyway. Cool. A reverse pedal platform that moves down and crushes enemies. Yeah, exactly. That would be great. What do I think about Mercy? I mean, I won't say anything about Mercy because actually Skiesti messaged me last week and asked for my opinion on Mercy. So I gave her my full opinion on Mercy. I kind of dumped a wall of text because she was like, you're like the person I trust to give a non-biased opinion, which was very flattering. And so I just gave her, she's making a video on it. So I will be featured in the video, I assume. So yeah, stay tuned. How about pedal platform is just a nuclear bomb? Like just you put out platform and it just explodes and kills everybody. Your teammates, the enemy team, it destroys the payload, it crashes the server. And then your computer just, something like that. You just press the button and it ends it. Yeah, that'd be good. I think that would be good. Another one from Alec. All right, Alec is on fire. Can you Suzu the bomb? No. Oh yeah, so there's one more we missed here. Okay. Alec Dawson. Kind of jealous of the last name. Actually, no, I like my last name. I lied. Okay, we got a dump of questions here. Okay, so we answered 1 and 2. In February, I noticed that you had received great feedback in the maps after the first hack mode, but I was wondering when those ideas would be implemented. Is this the faster respawn stuff? I didn't like that much. I thought like I didn't like that. What were the changes? Do you guys remember? Quick Play hacked. It was like the faster respawns, the faster capture points, and the faster payload movement, right? I don't think I liked any of those changes. I think people said that they were decent with like payload, and I would say that was probably like the least offensive. Or push, yeah. But push is already fast enough. Here it is. Read my lips. If the push thing would work, if push was like King of the Hill. Like where you played the push mode multiple times. Best of 3. And the push bot moved faster. But if you just had push with a faster robot, it'd be just way too short. Like way too short. But remember, this was one of the, you guys remember the criticism of the push game mode? They made that big video about like push is fundamentally imbalanced, and I made a response. One thing that video did say that I really did like though, was that to have like the same map, but like morning, evening, night, or whatever, lighting. And then it's best of 3, and then you could have the fast push robot. I think that would be interesting. But I think aside from that, I don't think you want the push robot moving that fast. I know people are like, oh, it's fine. No. But I think that's like food for thought, but I actually don't think that quick play hack like added anything. I think you were referencing the speed boosts. Oh, the spawn speed boosts. I like the spawn speed boost. If that was in there, was that in there? I like the spawn speed boost for Flashpoint. I think yes. It took us some time to get this in a good place, but we've been promising play tests. It's important to us that we add elements to a mode that not only bring quality gameplay, but also communicate well through sound and visual effects. Feels good here now. Okay, so sounds like that's something that's eventually coming, which is good. That's something that you've been working on. Nice, Gavin. So spawn speed boost sounds like confirmed, which is great. That's by far the worst part of Flashpoint. I actually like Flashpoint. I do know that Flashpoint has balance issues because it is very favored to some heroes and not to others, but that's not the first game mode that's like that, and it's definitely not the worst game mode that's like that. I think King of the Hill has way more favoritism, and yet people are fine with King of the Hill because it's old. People are used to it. Escort has a big sniper problem, like poke problem. Brawl heroes are really bad on Escort maps, almost without exception. So that's just Overwatch. Like the maps have favorites and good modes and bad modes, and having a spawn speed boost will help address the worst aspect of that, in my opinion. Why is first John's win always 2-2? Yeah. So I think Flashpoint has been largely a success. Okay. Personally, I liked Clash mode, but I want to know what kind of results you guys received that required modification in your opinion, or if you've noticed any optimal results to maintain or imitate for other game modes. Whoops. I apparently can't click. We got a lot of great feedback, but there are some things the team wished we did better with the Clash preview. Well, that's cool. So not just better with the Clash, but better with the preview itself. Firstly, it should have showed up more in quick play. So y'all got more reps on it and can get a better feel for the flow of the game mode. Fair. Secondly, we don't think it was best suited for open queue and arcade. That is really true. I think that was a big complaint. Why are we playing with open queue tanks? If we do something like this again, we'll clean that up. Nice. With the feedback we received, we've been investigating how to make the final point more appealing to capture for the attacking team. Yeah, see, this is my concern. I don't remember if I phrased it properly because I'm kind of an idiot, but when there was an initial discussion about Flashpoint, Clash, my concern was that is there going to be any motivation to push the final point and risk losing the fight as opposed to just holding your advantage and letting them retake it and then retaking that one again because it's easier. But yeah, we've been investigating how to make the final point more appealing to capture for the attacking team. Many games could result in the attacking team not actually wanting to push in the last point because it wasn't worth the reward. Harder to capture, gives a lot of positioning if you lose, and so on. Plenty of iteration happening here now to address that particular issue. That's just great. That's just good. Basically, just means that it's harder to gimmick the game mode. You've been working on that too? Brilliant, Gavin. What have you not been working on? How's world peace, mate? How's world peace? World peace? Yeah, that's what I thought, you coward. Doing absolutely nothing worth doing. This guy snakes out of every job worth doing. Typical Blizzard employee, am I right, guys? You guys read those Twitter replies? You should be surprised at this point. Typical. No world peace. Only thinking about his pockets. I knew it. Typical Microsoft employee. Bet he learned it straight from Bobby Kotick. That's what you get. Basically never does anything for world peace. Yeah, exactly. And ironic considering Overwatch, man. Like, you guys should be doing nothing but world peace, but no. It is what it is. That's fine. It's fine. It's all right. No big deal. It's not like we're holding it against you or anything. Right, chat? Typical Blizzard, though. Yeah, exactly. Guys, I actually hear that they canceled PvE to invest in world peace, but then they canceled that too. So, actually, the PvE was a world peace, but then, I actually heard that Bobby Kotick was actually really down for that, but then all the developers went on strike and refused to work for world peace, and then Bobby Kotick crying tears, he had to resign. It was really sad. It was really sad. You can't even joke about this stuff? Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm not expecting you to joke about this stuff. I know I'm treading the line where you can't go. That's fine with me. You could just smile and nod. Dude, yeah, they canceled PvE to pay Gavin Winrates. Exactly. Typical. I can't believe it, man. Typical. Doesn't expect you to take the roast. Listen, guys, for once in my life, I can punch down. For once. Or punch up, I guess. Just once. Let me just, you guys, yeah. Bring back Jeff. That's right. Jeff was a real, Jeff had that really funny fire stream, guys. So, he was a better developer, in my opinion. That fun, you guys remember that fun fire stream? Yeah. Much better developer, right? Am I right? When has Alec done a fire stream? Or Aaron Keller? Yeah? Fire stream? Question mark? Hello? That's what I thought. All quiet in the Western Front. Yeah? You get me. That's what I thought. We just did one recently. Nah, but last week, no, not good enough. Sorry, guys. Just got here. Why is Philo's face redder than an anime character's blush? Yeah. I told you guys, if you guys saw what I see every single day in the mirror, you'd be blushing too. Would have done daily. Yeah, Jeff, listen, Jeff was a real one, man. Jeff is a great example of excellent personality, being so personable, covering up for a multitude of sins. You know what I'm saying? But I actually interviewed with Kaplan for this job. He announced that he was leaving the day after I started. Oof. Yeah, you guys, why do you think Jeff Kaplan left? You know what I'm saying? It's all connected. You guys seen the X-Files? He you know what I'm saying? It's all connected. Gavin Winter comes out, enter hostility within the Blizzard campus. Jeff Kaplan leaves. At least what we think is Jeff Kaplan. Jeff Kaplan might have been Aaron Keller in a skin suit. We actually don't know that for sure. There is that possibility. Too much aura? Yeah, that's true. Has red string on this? Yes, that's it. I'm following the tracks. You guys can't fool me, man. You guys can't fool me. Somehow making it more hostile when I'm almost never there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You ever consider that's why it's so hostile, Gavin? Everyone misses you and you just refuse to show up? That's typical. That's typical. Aaron is a mech created by Jeff. That's true, actually. That's true. That I shook Aaron Keller's hand and I could feel it was an unhumanly firm grip. Unhumanly firm grip. In fact, I was cowering beneath his masculinity and I was like, you know what? This guy can't be human. And sure enough, you know. May I post my AMA question here since it won't likely be answered? I mean, you can, but I mean, what do you, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be answered. He's an Omnic. Yeah, that's actually true. Jeff was the avatar, yes. Jeff left because won a game and got expected. True. Is there any plan to introduce clarity in enemy status visual distinction? You can't tell if the enemy is burning, nanode, fortified, etc. because the visual effects are very similar. That is my question. Here's my answer to the question. I don't know if there's a plan on that, but I think the easiest way of solving that would be to have more color coding, in my opinion. I think color coding might be the issue. Maybe I'm too stupid. Like I said, I'm a computer wizard. I'm the greatest person in the history of the universe. But maybe color coding? Maybe like if Nano Boost was like a color other than like red, or if it was like Fortify was a color other than like more golden. You know? I think that the problem is that like burning is red, but then the other boosts are also red. What if you nano boosted something and they just turned white, like glowing star, like supernova, just blinded your screen? It's red at white mode. Spilo is red? Dang it. Yeah, see, this is not a good time to be talking about this right now. Is my face fortified? Dude! Oh, shut up, Megan. That's what you get for typing slow. That's what you get for typing slow, bro. Yeah, see, I think the color thing would be cool. Like, I know some people, like some whiny babies would complain about it, but I think it would be cool. I think it'd be cool. Someone Susu Spilo's face. Oh, man. You guys are freaking killing me, man. Jeez. Buff Genji. Bro got hit with Ash Dynamite. Yeah. Go, bro got Malgod. All right, Alex, serve me the sweet juice, Mr. Dawson. I mean, they've already done a pretty decent number of questions, I feel like. Least favorite Symmetra player asked a good question. Hey, listen, I never said you were my least favorite Symmetra player. Did I say that? I honestly, okay, I'm not gonna lie with you guys. I say so many mean things, I lose track. I'm pretty sure I like flame people and I don't even remember who you are. Like, it's like, what is that Thanos? I don't even know who you are. I did? See, I don't even remember that, bro. We finally found a shiny Spilo. Oh my gosh. Okay, true story. It was in the competitive Overwatch Discord. Somebody goes, Spilo, you egoed me. And I'm like, what? They're like, you know, at Toronto at the Overwatch League Grand Finals, I came up to like get your autograph or take a picture with you or whatever. And you just straight up egoed me. Bro, I don't remember that. I was like purposely being as nice as possible and like talking with everybody and doing pictures and autographs. I told you guys about that, bro. I did literally have like 350 autographs, man. My hand was hurting. It was like it's because I was in the pro Overwatch niche, which is like my niche, you know. I'm not that famous. But I didn't remember and I felt so bad. I was like, shoot, man. I like actually just like egoed somebody. The fake Karku story? No. $50 is a steal? Yeah, exactly. Bro, Avast had a line. I at least didn't have a line. I just walked around and people came out to me and there would be like a little herd and then they would disperse and I'd find, you know. But I didn't have a line. Freaking Avast had a line. See, I was mingling with not the proletariat, with the peasants. What is it, chat? Not the proletariat. No, is it the proletariat? Patricians and the plebeians. The plebeians. Yeah, that's it. I don't know, Doc. I don't remember. I don't remember egoing. I don't even know how you ego somebody. I don't know. Some Asian with glasses and spiky hair got asked if they were Karki and was going around taking pictures with random people and they post them on socials. Oh my gosh, that's actually funny. Really? That's super funny. Bro, you could show up. Listen, if you're like 5'9", you have hair that looks awful. You could just pretend to, and just like talk in a really shrieky voice. The bourgeois, yeah. You could just pull off a Spilo. Yeah, that was last year's grand finals, yeah. Just wear women's shorts, bad hair, 5'9", shrieky voice, and you're gonna be signing Spilo autographs. You're red face, yes. Constantly yelling to shut up, yes. That's why I didn't know your face was on the Shanghai Dragon team. Oh yeah, that's the funniest sim main, by the way. Funniest sim main right there, ladies and gentlemen. Funniest sim main. Funniest sim main. Everyone was like, okay, I will say this. Everyone was like, man, you were really friendly in person. I was like, well, yeah. I mean, like, I'm being funny, guys. Like, I'm not gonna be like mean person. I mean, listen, okay, I will say this. That when we were at hanging out with the Patreon guys, there was a lot. Basically, the entire pastime was making fun of me and me making fun of them, like constantly, like just constant abuse. It was great. But like, when I'm going to introduce myself to somebody, I'm not going to be like, "Yo, you're ugly," like, or "You're dumb," or "I'm better than you at everything," and you suck. You know, like that's not what we do. Oh, you were there, Megan? Bro, Megan, you egoed me. I didn't even know who you were. You should have introduced yourself. I would have been flattered. I would have been like, oh, Megan. Oh, who? Who are you? You should have introduced yourself. Man, typical. I saw Aaron. I didn't get to meet Aaron, but I saw Aaron. Is it hard not to hurt people, Mr. Smile? It is hard for me. No one cares about me. I care about you. Well, I know that's what helps you to do your job well, but I care. Chat, all right, listen. Megan was perfect at her job. Megan was perfect at her job at the Content Creator Summit. Everyone felt welcome. She was really good at keeping idiots in line with all the rest. Everyone but me, obviously, because I was a genius. I always followed instructions. She herded cats. She was, and at the same time, was like, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys ever have like that teacher when you go on like a field trip and like, rah, get in line, rah, 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 right? Not Megan. Megan was like the most chill person that kept everybody in line 24/7 and always communicated what we needed to do ahead of time in person and over the Discord group without exception. Allegedly, she is silver, yes. Yeah, oh, I know, Megan. I know. I'm not trying to like make you feel better. I agree. Like it is your job to kind of be the silent structure. I agree, but that's what I'm saying is you were perfect at that. Yeah, J3 isn't it? Yeah, he was a total jackass. Hopeless. J3 is like if he was me, but smaller, weaker, shorter, stupider, and somehow worse at Tracer. Yeah. Well, you guys have to understand that. Like I said this the other day, and I mean this with like utmost love. And by utmost love, I mean I'm about to say something really, 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 really rude. Content creators are not special, myself included. We're kind of dumb. We're just normal people that are good at video games or explaining video games, right? Now, like I said, I'm the obvious exception to that rule. But like they're just people. They're just kind of like, you know, like they're just like you look at these people and they have a platform and you're like, oh, they're gonna be super cool and snap. They're not. They're just people. So, you know, new Josh answer. So it's like, you know, they need help as much as anybody. Who is better pulse phones? J3. I mean, it's obviously me, guys. Obviously me. All right, Josh No says, SVB, no, SVB is exactly, yeah, SVB is like, you know, how he's like on stream. He's like that in person. He's chill. He's smart. He asks good questions. He knows what the frick he's talking about. Way more competent than I am. I'm on hint. Like, listen, here's the thing. I am almost exactly in real life as I am on the stream. I'm almost exactly it depends, obviously, like everyone's a little different in different things, but like, you know, yeah. It's true, we just got check marks. I mean, Winston. Nice, dude! Congrats on the check mark, Winston. Congrats. Am I taller in real life? You're funny. Congrats, Winston. Congrats on the partner, mate. That's awesome. All right. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to ask this, but is the current balance team confident to be able to fix the biggest problems the tank role has been suffering since Overwatch 2 release? Juiced. I'm specifically talking about counter swap, unhealthy tank designs being allowed to exist, tank busters, and unkillable tanks. Are we confident that making tanks able to do almost everything is the right thing to do? Are we confident we can make tank fun again for the majority of the player base without straight buffs? The headshot reduction and knockback reduction changes are especially interesting to me because I really don't think that symbol number changes will fix how tanks feel to play. Gavin, give me like 2 seconds. I want to know what your recommendation is. I've been playing the heck out of Dominion recently because I'm trying to save up money because we've got some expense. We have to go to like Dallas and stuff, so I'm kind of poor. But I'm trying to save up some money to like get another board game. So I'm open for recommendations. I don't want to counter swap. I don't want to face unkillable and easy to play tanks. I don't want tank busters. Okay. What do you got, Josh? Okay. At its core, Overwatch is a game designed around being able to swap heroes to gain a tactical advantage or help solve a challenge you might be encountering. This contributes to keeping the moment-to-moment gameplay expression dynamic, drives hero diversity, and offers a wide range of both strategic gameplay and skill expression, learning where to win. Okay, so pretty much just fundamental. Yeah. Okay, get to the point here. Yeah, I'll be there, Megan. Oh, maybe Gavin. That's all right, Gavin. All right. There's a question of how much of an advantage is too much compared to the cost of switching. Ideally, we want counters to be clear and understandable, but soft enough that it's still possible to outplay disadvantage. And that's the key thing. We should have, like, there's this, I will say, one of the arguments of the 66 crowd, or people that prefer 66 or 166, is that it is dangerous in the 5v5 that because it feels like you have to have characters that don't have any weaknesses, right? I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's okay to have tanks and in all heroes to have weaknesses. They just can't be too pronounced. And I think that's also applicable to 6v6 as well. It is a team game through 1v, though, and 1v1 matchups are not the highest priority when you hit assessing heroes. Okay, tanks do feel this the most with only one of them per team in a 5v5 rule queue. But all rules do experience the pressure to counter and be countered to an extent. Okay, chat, why do tanks feel the most pressure? It's actually not just because there's only one of them. There's one other detail as well. Because what is a tank? If you guys watched my fixing tank video, right, and dumped cash into my pockets, you know this. Because they're big. Exactly. It's psychology. The role of tank is to abuse psychology. It's their job. It's to make you look at them. So that is why they feel it more. You cannot fix it about tank. They're supposed to take that attention. Megan. We're striving to find a balance between swapping heroes every death, which certainly feels too often, and rarely swapping heroes are getting trapped in mirror matches every game, which quickly leads to fatigue. We've seen a lot of improvements here compared to a lot of earliest, but it could always be better. Unhealthy and unpopular designs are not necessarily the same thing. I mean, that is true, but because Roadhog is picked a lot. When designing heroes, we aim to provide a wide range of playstyles, mechanics, and aesthetics for players to enjoy. It's okay if they don't all resonate with everyone broadly. We'll do our best to make the game as fun as it can be for a wide audience. So Josh is a really smart guy and a really good guy, but I really feel like the only thing that's being said of substance here is but soft enough to be able to outplay a disadvantage is being their philosophy here, which is good. That's good. But there's really nothing that's fundamentally addressed here, I feel like. I think this is mostly just kind of playing it safe with your answers and it's understandable. It's a very hard question to answer, but this is the only thing that's worth interesting here. So it's a fine answer. The disadvantage, but not hard. No hard counters is good. Like, let's put it this way, chat. If they just were no hard counters in Overwatch would be a much better game. If that's literally all they did was address the hard counters as much as they possibly can within reason, Overwatch would be a much better game. not soft counters, not Diva versus Winston, or, you know, Zarya versus Diva, or, you know, even something like Orisa versus, well, I guess Orisa versus Ryan, maybe a little bit more. But if they just addressed soft counters and they did nothing else, it would be, or hard counters would be fine. The AMA is over now? Frick. Okay. Gavin, what were you gonna recommend? There's one more from Alec here we'll get to in a second. I think that hard counters are a result of bad design often. Exactly. I think that if you look at the characters that are hard countered or hard counterable, it's usually a character design flaw. Like there's never like, oh, Winston hard counters Ryan, or Tracer hard counters Genji. No, it's all, or Ana hard counter. No. It's always the messy, the ugly stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's always the ugly stuff. I just want the ability to outplay them. Yes, exactly. Dune War for Arrakis. Really? Okay, so I'm not a huge Dune fan, but I have heard that there's a lot of good Dune games. War for Arrakis. Okay, good to know. Thank you for that recommendation. I will check it out. But like, if the game, if the game's good, I don't give a frick. You know what I'm saying? A Duner, yeah. Thanks for the recommendation. All right, one more from Alec here, and crucially, it's on Mercy, which I think is good. Like, here, okay, let's be honest, guys. There's two things that they're doing this for: to answer questions and also to appease people a little bit. And I think that you have to prioritize who you're answering. Notice that they've answered Tank question, Hanzo question, Mercy question, Symmetra question, right? It's smart. It's smart. It's smart. A ranked question, right? I mean, obviously it's spreading your table, right? Okay. All right, let's see here. Is team looking at Mercy? Cassidy. What is Mercy's pick and win rate? DPS passive is reduced. D tier support. She's a weird spot where people don't like playing against her, with her, or as her anymore. Many others still enjoy her most out of the other heroes, but she doesn't play nearly as fun. Okay. Yeah, I'm less concerned about Junkrat than I am, ironically, about like Hanzo, though. I think that the recent change to Junkrat was actually a fairly decent one. Yeah, I think that like you guys are like you guys got to look at this is like free real estate, right? This is not something that we've really done before with the devs, at least in any recent memory. I can't think of the last time that we had a developer talking on Reddit. Like, did this happen? And when did it happen? Like 4, 5, 6 years ago? So it's free real estate. It's free information. You know, you could always want more. We will always want more, but we'll take what we can get here. It's been useful. I think we're more happy in the 20% DPS passive world than the 15%. It cuts through a lot better, helps mitigate the healing more effectively. So Mercy is worth a look when the world is more permanent. There are some... The funny thing is about this... Okay, can we just pause for just a second? We've done AMAs before? Okay. Can I just say something? Can I just say something? Chat, why is the DPS passive screwing Mercy over so much? Go ahead, tell me right now. Why is the DPS passive screwing Mercy over so much? Think about it. Think about it. Yeah, Alec always going above and beyond. It affects her twice. So there's one thing. First off, the characters that Mercy plays with are generally more burst oriented, right? So that they are less reliant off the DPS passive as opposed to consistent pressure. But right, if you think about it, more of Mercy's values through healing, not all, but like there's other heroes, like for example, how much did Mercy, like let's ask you this question. You guys ready for this? How much did Mercy benefit from the projectile changes of Season 9? How much did Mercy benefit from the projectile changes of Season 9? Nothing directly at all. Nothing. So you have an entire part of a kit that every character, actually this is why Brig kind of struggled for a little bit, right? Because Brig didn't benefit as much. Every character benefited from it. Bap, Sen, Ana, Kiriko, Lucio. She just didn't benefit. So you look at Mercy and you're like, you don't really play Mercy for healing, but it is a disproportionate larger part of her kit. So that even if it affected the damage boost, maybe indirectly, it just doesn't do much for her. And she is easier to hit with the bigger projectiles. Exactly. There are some questions of how far we can push her movement and know that is one of the most requested changes. So worth more a look when that world is permanent in terms of the passive here. Mercy is still a top pick, 3 to 4 support, and even higher in console until you hit GM top 500. Her performance follows a similar trend where she's in the top grouping for most strengths and remains above average to higher strength. Is it top picked or top performing? Her performance. Okay, sorry. Her performance follows a similar trend. Wow. Okay. It's both. Now, he specifies console here. So he doesn't necessarily say PC. Maybe it's just a little awkward wording here. Megan, I don't know if Alec is still around, but... Oh, sorry. Even higher on console. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. See, this is what happens. People are dumb, like me. Very dumb. Her performance follows a similar trend when she's in the top grouping. Yeah, so higher ranks. I mean, this is, again, not a surprise, right? Free value out of Mercy. And, like, the thing is like, Healbot Mercy isn't very good, but it is easy to get the value out of the character. And I think even ultimates like Valk and abilities like Rez scale worse and higher performance. So, yeah. I mean, this is the problem. This is what I talked with Cassidy when she messaged me. I was like, listen, you have to find some sort of utility that scales with this character well, and that there's more, like, motivation to play. Because the problem with Mercy is that she's performing, but moving with the character is still not, is the most fun of the character, and it's the thing that's punished the most, you know? So, yeah. Is that it? That should be it, right? Whoops. You just can't buff Mercy. You just can't. Like I told this with Skessy, it's like, until you rework Mercy at least a little bit, you can't buff her. You just can't. I honestly think I might prefer a Moira meta over a Mercy meta. I actually don't think there's a way. Now, when we talk about solutions for Mercy, I made a whole video on it. I made a whole the support rework thing, and I still stand by 90% of those things. So, well, it means more pocket meta. It's not just burst meta. It's just more pocket meta. Because what Mercy is fun to do and what Mercy is good at are often two different things. The irony here is that Mercy is most fun playing into Brawl and Dive. But she's really bad. Like, when you're forced to reposition yourself and, like, actively choose your targets, the character is pretty fun. But but you don't play Mercy in this situation. She's so bad. And where Mercy's strongest is where she's least interesting. Poke, comps where you can't stop the res, where damage boost is most impactful, and so on. You can't use your pistol. Or exactly boopables. Exactly boopables. Yeah, so anyway. Good AMA. Good AMA, good MMA. It was fun. As always, I guess that's going to be it right there.